Hi everyone, it's Ileana and I have another card tutorial for you. I'm going to start off with this Altenew watercolor background washi. I want to have a little bit of pink up at the top of my card, and so I'm just going to rip off this blue section. I do use it later on, but I want the pink closer to the top. So I've rotated my card base so that I'm able to line up the edge of the washi with the top of the card. I'm sorry I'm out of frame. And then I'm just going to take that other piece and I'm just going to butt it up against the edge of the washi. You don't want to overlap, because if you overlap, you'll kind of see the transition. And I don't want that. I want it to look like if it's one big piece of washi. So I'm going to add another tiny piece to the very bottom of the card. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to trim around the edge of my card base. Once that's done, I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to brayer it down so that I make sure that I have good adhesion to the entire card front. Now I have some pieces that I've already die cut with the Happy Balloons die set from Concord and 9th. I took my white cardstock and I added some stickit to the back of it, and I've die cut several of these pieces. I am trimming the word happy off of each one because I am going to create a shaker card. I'm going to remove the backing off of each one of the pieces, and then I'm just going to stack all the pieces together just so that I create a little well for my sequence to move around in. Now for the back of my shaker, I'm going to use a small piece of vellum. The way that this die set was created was so that you could use the happy balloon over the full-size balloon. And so what I'm doing now is I'm cutting out the same size of balloon with the acetate. I didn't get a clean cut on one of the sides, and so I did have to fuss with it just a little bit. So now I'm removing the backing and I'm adding my vellum balloon to the very back. This will be the bottom of my shaker. I am making sure that the die is making full contact with that vellum so that my sequins don't come out. Now for the front of the shaker, I need to attach a piece of acetate to the very top. And in order to attach it, I'm going to need to have some adhesive on the very top. And I don't want to add it to my acetate because it'll just create a mess. So I've taken a small piece of cardstock and I've added some stickit to one side and some Elizabeth Craft adhesive to the back side. And I've run it through my die cutter again. Because it's so thick, everything but the backer gets cut out, and now I have a piece that I could adhere to the front. So the balloon, this top layer, will have adhesive on the top side after I remove the backer from it. I really hope this made sense. I'm going to add some sequins. I'm using Lucy Abrams' Warm Golden Glow sequins, and I'm also using some Hero Arts Champagne Mix. I've added a little bit of both. One of the mixes has bigger sequins and the other one has different color sequins, and so between both of them I get a mix that I really like. Now I'm going to peel off the other side of that adhesive backing sheet. I can add my acetate to the very front, and I'm going to make sure that it's pressed down really well. I don't want this sequence to fall out. I am going to trim off anything that might be overhanging, and now I'm really going to push this down with my bone folder. Once that's done, I can add the top layer. I've already added some stickit adhesive to the back of this gold foil, and now I'm just going to pull this off. It's a lot easier just to pull it off than to try to separate the happy from the rest of the die. And now I'm just going to press this all down. Now I'm going to take this little shaker and I'm going to add it to the front of my card. I'm going to add some liquid adhesive because of the texture of the washi. It doesn't allow you to use any kind of tape runner or score tape or anything like that. It just doesn't stick because of the waxy film that's on the washi. I'm going to add plenty of liquid adhesive to the very edges of my die because you won't be able to see it through the vellum. And then I'm going to add some to the middle right across where the word happy is. And then right as I'm going to place it, I drop it and I get adhesive everywhere. Luckily, because of the wax coating, I'm able to take a baby wipe and wipe off all of that glue, and then I dry it off with a towel. Now I'm going to add some more adhesive to my shaker, and I wouldn't know that I ran out of glue. And so now I'm going to pull out my spare bottle and I'm going to add some more. Anything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. I'm going to position it exactly where I want, and then I'm going to use my creative corner piece to hold it down. Remember, I like to keep a metal piece underneath my cutting mat, and so all of my MISTI accessories help me hold things down. I did add spray adhesive to the tail so that it would stick. Now I'm going to take a piece of cardstock, and there is some this one still has a little bit of stickit on the back of it. I'm going to run this banner through my little mini blossom die cutter and create the banner that goes across the balloon. You want to hold on to that negative piece because you're going to use it. You're going to use it in two different ways. I'm going to pop it back into place, and then I'm going to use this Delicata rose gold, and I'm going to do some ink blending. I found that this color matches perfect with some of the colors that are in the Altenew watercolor washi. Once I have that done, I'm going to bring out my mini MISTI. I have a small piece of grid paper I have just inserted in, and I'm going to take the sentiment from the coordinating stamp set. I'm taking the birthday, and I'm just going to randomly stamp it inside the MISTI. And then I'll take that negative die and I'll place it right over where the word birthday needs to go. And then I just put everything right up on top. So now I know that my banner is going to be stamped perfectly where I want it. Now I'm going to take this banner, and it is a little damp, so I am going to add some Icicle embossing powder, and I'm only going to add it to the word birthday. So I'm just going to brush the rest of it away. Even though the rose gold is still a little damp, it doesn't show up too much. So I'm just going to set this with my heat gun. It doesn't take long because it's just one small little word. Now the die cut does have some score lines in it. So if you follow the score lines, you're able to bend your banner so that it fits snugly around your balloon. Now because it is a little bit bent, I didn't want the white to show through, so I just added some more of the rose gold to the white part that is showing when you fold it. And then the banner just snugs in right underneath the happy. It did have some stickit on it, so I'm just going to pull the stickit off, and it will adhere to that acetate and onto that gold foil. So I'm just positioning it underneath the Y, and then I'm able to press it down. I do add a little bit of liquid adhesive to the edges of the banner just so that it doesn't lift up. And for some reason this side is tacked down well. Now I'm going to add some finishing touches. I'm going to add some more of those sequins from Lucy Abrams' Warm Golden Glow and the Hero Arts Champagne Mix. And that is my card. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I hope you have a great day.